Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. My name is Nick and today guys we're going to be jumping down into the world of Cardano, taking a look at the most recent price action and what I think is likely to happen next. As I get into this video, if you find it useful and informative, smash that like button. I really do appreciate that. If you're new to the channel, then why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all the notifications, and in doing so you will be kept up to date with absolutely everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. And if you haven't yet joined us in Discord, guys, check it out, linked in the description down below. I don't think you'll be disappointed by what you find down there. It's the first place that we go to notify you of the ins and the outs of everything that is going on in the crypto space. Now, I just want to kind of pull up this comment section for the video that we did on the 1st of January 2023. This was Cardano. Will it continue pumping? And I just want to kind of address continue pumping. Neither of these things are happening. Pump, did you miss something? It's doing the opposite today, yada, yada, yada. Basically, a lot of people jump in the gun a bit too far. So maybe there's a little bit of, humbleness to be eaten somewhere along the line here, obviously after seeing Cardano pump the way that it has done. So I just want to kind of put this out there and kind of get people thinking just a little bit, because what I'm trying to do on this channel is not tell you what is happening right this second. I'm trying to tell you what I think is going to happen next. Okay, and just like the people in this particular comment section of this particular video, maybe I'm right and things are not going to be going in a direction that you think they are going in right away. Patience is key. Just remember that. Let's jump on down into the charts for Cardano. Okay, here we have Cardano paired up with USDT on the hourly chart, and Binance is the data source. Here we can see some interesting kind of structures. Now, last time we were talking about this, we were talking about 35.61 to 37.3. We are in that zone right now. Now, with Bitcoin also kind of doing itself a little mini reset, I still think we're probably going to overextend above and beyond this, just as the DXY continues to behave or misbehave. More specifically, if I bring up the DXY here, you can still see the DXY going down, and therefore assets are going up in value because you need more dollars to buy them. Essentially, it's real basic stuff. So when we start looking at this structure here, this to me, I think is more of a kind of wave 3 situation, and we're probably in a wave 3 of a wave 3. And I think we've probably got a lot further to go to the upside before we can kind of finish off this structure overall. Now, at the moment, I'm still not happy with this beginning section. I would say this is looking like a 335 and at best, and then we can kind of go into this kind of impulsive structure. So I'm going to put it out there. It's possible that we have bottomed out on Cardano. I don't think we have. Not yet. I haven't seen completion of this structure, but people can jump the gun and think that that's a fantastic thing. And generally speaking, it doesn't matter if it does or doesn't. The only thing that's important that you need to do and need to know this is like top alpha content, if you will. The only thing that really matters here is having a plan for whatever happens next, which means think about the multiple different strategies and have a plan for whatever one plays out, okay? Or think about the multiple different scenarios that can play out and have a strategy for each and every one of those outcomes. And then you're not going to kind of be, thinking, oh my God, what's happening? What do I do next? You've already got a plan. You've already thought about it, right? And I speak about this months ago. I said, if we end up with a trend to the upside, which is what we want, then you buy the dip afterwards, right? So there's a plan there. And if we don't end up with a trend to the upside, like this is questionable at the moment, then essentially what do? Well, we plot out the new lower lows and we wait for the corrections to tell us where those trends are, right? So at the moment, yeah, it's going to be one of those, but pay attention and create multiple different scenarios and create strategies around them. It doesn't generally matter, what happens as long as you've got a plan for whatever it is that happens, okay? So whatever unfolds, make sure you've got a plan for it. So let's go into this, right? Here we can see a nice deep wave 2. This will be what I would expect, right? If this is a wave 1 right here, this little area, and this is our retracement, then if all of this is our wave 1, then our retracement would be down here as well, right? So you'll come down and then that's where you'd buy. So just have that kind of idea and that strategy behind it. Now let's take a look at this. We go on 1, 2, all of this looks like 3, but I don't think it's done just yet. Then 4 and 5. Okay, and the reason I don't think it is done is, and bear in mind, these are not targets. These are just roughly placed down just to kind of get them out of the way. Here we would potentially have another structure. So I'd go 1, 2, all of this would then be a 3, 4, and then 5. So that's why I think we haven't quite finished in there. I would say that we are probably in here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And if I nest that up one more, we go 1, 2, 3, 4. We probably have to go up a little bit more. So let's go ahead and tidy that up. So taking a look at that, right in here, we'll start from the internal wave count. Okay, so the internal wave count is right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, and if I go ahead and just change the degree on these, we'll make these minute, subminute even, and let me find this one. We'll come in here, 1, 2, up here for 3, down here for 4, and up into 5. And again, we'll adjust those. We'll go up into there, and then we'll go ahead and nest the next one. The next one comes in here, 1, 2. All of this is 3, therefore we've got to come down into 4, then up into 5. And again, we'll nest this up one. We'll go into there. Then, of course, we'll go up into the next one. And you can kind of see why we're talking about overextensions, because you can kind of see, in fact, it's, it is. Yeah, this one right here. All of that would then be 3. Then we'll go down to 4 and then 5. Okay. And all of that there, if I go up in one again here, I'll go to minor, all of that would then be our wave 3. So there you go. So then you end up with this. And this is the thing, right? A lot of people don't seem to quite get right with Elliott wave theory is you need to nest these down and you need to be able to plot them out. So this still looks like there's progression upwards here. Looks like we have to go down in a smaller wave 4 up into a bigger wave 5. Then all of that is a wave 3, which means we have to then come back down into a wave 4, then go up into a wave 5, of which that's a wave 3, which will then have to come down into a wave 4, and then have that final wave 5. And then all of that is rested inside that wave 5 there. Okay, so that you get that overextension in there. Okay, now that would then actually top us out. We can't plot this out until we probably get through the next 2 of these real minor movements. They should be contained inside the 35.61 to 37.3. Can't see a reason for them to explode out of there other than this one, which will put our wave 3 just a fraction above, probably in the range of around 38. And then, of course, we'll come down and then finish this off. Where we said before in the AMA yesterday, possibly push to the 40-cent level. Now, if I kind of bring this up into our daily time frame, you can kind of see that we do have this kind of 43-cent 200 EMA. That could be an area of resistance for us. And again, as I plotted this out, if it do complete this as a kind of 335 corrective structure, then we can come down into lower lows. And if we kind of want to play devil's advocate and think of a trend, then we won't come down into lower lows, or shouldn't, because that would create invalidations, and instead we would be thinking about an 88.2% retracement that would then correct that down. But overall, you know, we've done reasonably well here, but it's not an unusual movement. We've seen these time and time before and always come back down again. Even this one over here, right? We can see how impulsive this one was to the upside, right? And a lot of people were getting carried away up here as well, right? 1, 2, 3. Look, we're going to the moon. Only that didn't happen. We broke on down, and that was from February through to March. We can all know what was happening there as well. So yeah, we can't get too carried away. Let's see how it goes. We want to ideally peak above 44. If we can peak above 44, then that would actually put an end to the seasonal structure down here, and another reset could occur. Now, from our stochastic RSI, we are overbought on the 1 hour, overbought on the 4 hour, overbought on the 8 hour, overbought on the daily. There is very limited progression to the upside. So we'll even see whether or not those moves that I just mapped out are even going to complete or all get invalidated, because what's really driving it is the DXY, not extra demand. Now, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of FOMO from retail investors, and you know, generally speaking, that is not going to end well. We're also up here in the overbought area on the RSI, not just the stochastic RSI, and we haven't been this high since all the way over here in August of 2021. Read into that as you will. Here's your bearish divergence, guys, on the RSI. From over here up to here, you can see from the highs that we were up in March, okay, in terms of price, we were high on the RSI. We are now higher on the RSI with a lower high on price. That is bearish divergence. So let's not get ourselves all tricked out thinking that, you know, we're going to the moon with bearish divergence on the charts as well as being overbought on the stochastic RSIs. And if I come up into the weekly, that's the only positive that there is there's a little bit of progression still remaining here to the upside on the weekly time frame. but it doesn't have to go all the way up to overbought. So we're interested to kind of see how it goes. The monthly does remain in the oversold position. That hasn't changed. No differences there. And so for the most part, I'm confident in ADA's ability to kind of finish these structures off with DXY doing what the DXY does. But I'm not confident long term to think that, we are done with the lows just yet. It will be interesting to kind of see how those structures go. But as I said, the most important thing is to have a plan and have a strategy for whatever scenario does play out. If we're starting to get a turn in the market and we start to get that trend to the upside, then have a plan for that by the next dip, for example, right? And only on confirmation of a trend to the upside. And, if we do not get a trend to the upside, well, then it's business as usual on this channel. And, we've already got a plan and a strategy for what to kind of look at in terms of the lows. So for the most part, I'm pretty happy with Cardano ADA's positioning. It's done incredibly well. This is exactly what I was talking about a few weeks ago, although I was not expecting it to go down as deep as it did before it had this run. I was talking about a swing trade opportunity. I actually entered that at 27.5, and we obviously went down to 23. So obviously I got my entry way off base there, because it was kept overextending down in the same way that it is overextending up right now. Okay, so just kind of keep these things in mind when we kind of think about whether price is going to continue going up or whether things are going to reverse, etc. But, we're up in the mid-30s, of which a few weeks ago I was being called absolutely crazy. There's no way that it would possibly do this. And yet here it is. And now I'm being called absolute crazy names just because it's gone up. So, yeah, reflect on that as you will, guys. I'm going to leave this video right there. If you find it useful and informative, smash that like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. If you haven't joined us in Discord yet, check it out. Linked in the description below. Guys, until the next one, have a fantastic day.